Hi there, I just wanted to show you how you could host a website using GitHub. You will need a couple of things in order to do this. The first thing that you'll need to do is you'll need to sign up for a free GitHub account. So if you just go to github.com, you will be prompted to enter an email address and sign up. You can certainly just go ahead and sign up for a free account. There's no need for a paid or enterprise account in order for this to work. Once you've set up your GitHub account and you're able to access it, you'll be able to create a repository. That is going to be the first step in order to create any sort of hosting using GitHub. I'll use this green button that says Create Repository, or conversely, if you're on any other page in GitHub, you can always come to the upper right-hand corner, and if you use this little pull-down menu, you'll be able to access any repositories or access your profile. If you go into your repositories, you would be able to create a new repository here as well. So either of those methods will let you create a repository. I'll create new, and then we're going to need to give our repository a name. The name can basically be anything that you want. It will start with the name that you used when you created your GitHub account. I'm just going to call this Be Happy because this is the name of the website that I will be uploading for this demonstration. You can add an optional description, but that is not necessary. It is important that your website is public, so you need to have public selected. And then if you wanted to, you could create a README file and a git ignore, but we don't really need any of these things for our purposes here. I'm simply going to click Create Repository. And now I've created my first repository. On this page, it is going to give us information about how we can upload files into the repository. Typically, this is done using the command line, and if you've never used GitHub, this can look really confusing, but we're going to bypass this method and just use a simple drag and drop method. So I will go to the quick setup, and I'm just going to simply click Uploading an existing file. When I click that, I will come to a page where I can simply drag files from my computer into GitHub. Here are the files that I want to add into my GitHub repository, so I'll simply grab those and drag them into GitHub. GitHub is going to run through and upload all of the files, including all of the folders. As soon as this is done, you'll need to scroll down to the bottom portion of the web page, and you'll need to commit the changes. Normally, we would add a commit message. GitHub has already added a commit message of add files via upload. If you wanted to augment this message, you could use your own custom message, but for this demonstration, I'm just going to use this message. I'll click Commit Changes. GitHub is going to process my files, and this may take a few minutes. And then once it is done, the files are going to exist within GitHub. Now, if you try to click on your index page, you're just going to see the HTML that you originally uploaded. In order for us to be able to display this on the web like a typical website, we're going to need to go to Settings. Under Settings, we're going to go to Pages, and we're going to need to set the branch. So currently, the branch is set to none. I'm going to want to choose the branch that I want to show. Now, once again, branching is a concept that is particular to GitHub. For our purposes here, we're simply going to choose main, which is the only branch that we have in this particular repo. I will select that, and I want it to show my root folder, so I'm just going to simply click Save. And once I've done that, GitHub is going to now work on uploading my file. Currently, I won't be able to see the website right away. It's probably going to take a few minutes for it to complete the processing. So you could go on and do whatever you need to do. We could go back into our repository, do other things. And eventually, if we go back to settings, we will know that the repository has been uploaded because we're going to get a message under Pages. So if I go to Pages right now, I still don't quite have that message. We'll just give this a few more minutes so that I can finish processing, and then I'll show you what this looks like. As you can see, now if I'm under the Settings Pages section, it says my site is live and it provides a URL. If we go ahead and click this URL, and I'll open this in another tab, this is going to show my website. And the website is going to function as it normally would We can click any of our links. It'll take us to that area of the website. We can scroll through it and we can do whatever we would normally do. This is an awesome feature of GitHub. It allows you to upload any sort of website and host it for free. The limitations that I do want to point out are that this only works on static websites, which means it's only going to work on websites that utilize HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. So if you're using any sort of website that needed any backend functionality or a server, you would not be able to host that on your GitHub account. But for a static website, this is a perfect solution. You can actually do this on multiple repositories. So you could really have multiple websites that are hosted under your GitHub account. The URL is always going to start with your GitHub user account that you've set up, and then it's going to be followed by the name of the repo that you've specified. I hope you found this helpful, and now you have a free place that you can upload your work and have it display on the web.